Together by sharing our statement of being together. There is only one presence and one power active in the universe and in my life, God, the good omnipotence.
Well, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me know that love is all around. Let me know that love is all around. Oh, let me know that love is all around. Let me know that love is all around. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me know that love can heal us all. Let me know that love can heal us all. Oh, let me know that love can heal us all. Let me know that love can heal us all. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Well, again, welcome to Unity of Wilmington, where we as a spiritual community affirm very important truths about your self, your true nature, your divine nature. The first is that you are a beloved expression of God. The second is that you're here for a holy purpose. It's only a purpose that you can do, a purpose that only you can fulfill. And we as a spiritual community are so grateful for your presence, whether you're with us online, anywhere in the world. It is yours to do, whether you're with us in person. We're so grateful that you have brought your light and the expression of your purpose here with us in this moment. And the third affirmation that we know is true about you, that you are always in the right place at the right time, right now. For this and all great truths, we say thank you, God.
I close my eyes and I can see a world that's waiting there for me, that I call my own. Through the dark, through the door, through where no one's been before, but it feels like home. They can say that we've gone crazy. They can say we've lost our mind. I don't care, so call us crazy. We can live in a world that we design. for the world we're gonna make. There's a house we can build, every room inside it's filled with things from far away. Special things I compile, each one there to make you smile on a rainy day. They can say that we've gone crazy. They can say we've lost our mind. I don't care, so call us crazy. We can live in a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of all the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. Oh, a million dreams for the world we're gonna make. However big, however small, let me be a part of it all. Share your dreams with me. You may be right, you may be wrong, but believe that you'll bring me along to the world you see, to the world you close your eyes to see. You close your eyes to see. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make.
Megan Golden, John Hill, Justin Lacey, music director Katie Dees. Give them another hand. Man, I wish I could sing like Megan. I just have a last name like you, but I certainly cannot sing like you. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Yeah. Have you begun to look at your million dreams for this year? Yeah, a million dreams. What if this time next year you were able to say to us, let me tell you about the million dreams that came true. We got to set the intention in order to take the action, in order to create that which we're calling forth. Because there's no such thing as undemonstrated consciousness. Isn't that a cool thing? We're doing a typical first of the year unity ritual today. We call it the burning bowl. Oh no, that was last week. We call it the white stone ceremony. But I did want to ask you about the burning bowl. How did you do this week? Were you able to continue to have let go of that which you burned, that which you let the fire transform? Or did you pick it back up? So often we let things go and we pick it back up. But the cool thing is every moment of every day we have an opportunity to simply let it go again. So if you happen to have picked your whatever up, just let it go again. Go ahead and do it right now. Just let it go again. Yeah, no judgment, no criticism. Oh, I picked it up. Oops. I liked it. It was familiar to me, so I picked it up. Well, the white stone ceremony is another form of releasing. Because in order to step into a new way of being, we have to let go of the old. In order to take on a new name, a new quality, a new nature, well, our nature is always divine, but to step into a new consciousness of that nature, we have to make space for it, which is why the burning bowl usually comes from before the white stone ceremony. So if you picked it up, don't worry about it. Just let it go. We have an opportunity in every moment of every day to let something go. We have an opportunity at every moment of every day to step into our new nature because it's a new moment. It's simply a new moment. And our names, what we call ourselves, how we label ourselves are important. They have meaning to us. And we know that because were you ever called a name you didn't like when you were growing up? Oh, I'm seeing lots of faces. Yes or no? Oh, yes. Oh, yes, I was called that. My brothers called me Squirt all the time. I didn't like it because I was the youngest one and I was the littlest one, and they called me Squirt, and I didn't want to be Squirt. I wanted to follow them around because I thought they were really cool. And I could have taken that on and carried it forth into my adulthood, but there was a period in my early teens I let it go. I just let it go. I thought, it's kind of fun. The other nickname my cousin called me was Pickles, mostly because I like dill pickles. So people will call us things. And when I have grown, as I have grown, actually those are pretty innocuous names from some that I have been called. And what I've learned is as I stand in my power as a woman, as I stand in my power, in my divinity, that yes, there's a projection that begins to happen and people will call us names, but it's up to us whether or not we take them on. It's up to us. And when we notice that we have, it's up to us to simply let them go. This is what Rumi is talking about when he says we're not looking for love outside of ourselves, but we're looking to find all the places that we've let somebody else define us by what they have called us. And then we let that go. And it's not always as easy as one burning bowl. It may take 20 burning bowls. But if you're willing to look and see what somebody else has labeled you, what someone else has named you, and you are willing to go beyond that and stand in your true name, then you can stand in your power. Then we can create a life that has those million dreams that we demonstrate because we have sought those places within us that somebody has labeled us differently than we want to be labeled. We have looked at them, examined them, and let them go. And maybe we let them go a million times. But we've done it to call in from inside of us who we know we are. And what I'm going to invite you folks at home or online, wherever you are, is we're going to use a white stone in here. And if you didn't get a white stone, if you will raise your hand, somebody will bring you one and a pencil. Get a piece of paper, get a stone, get something to write on, because in our time of meditation, we will be calling forth the name that we believe we are, and it will come from within us. It will come from our own inner guidance. So I'm going to invite you not to be thinking, oh, I'm going to use this name this year, because I've done that in the past. And many people do. But let it come from within you. In 1920s, there was a Gestalt psychologist named Wolfgang Kohler who decided he would look at the symbols behind what something is called. And so he determined two words. One was malumus, and the other was Tecate. And he started showing these to what he called respondents. He showed these pictures to people, and he asked them, what do you think this is named? Do you think this one is the malumus, or do you think this one is the Tecate? And here we go. What do you think? Is this the malumus, or is this the Tecate? Okay, how many think it's the malumus? Raise your hand, and you can put it in the chat. And how many people think it's the Tecate? Okay, great. And then here is what the Tecate or malumus. How many think this is the malumus? Oh, some of you are like, I don't know. That's okay too. We're just playing around here. How many of you think it's a Tecate? And how many of you? All right. So what Kohler did was he asked a ton of people. And he decided that the majority of the people in his research project called the one that's curvy the malumas, and the one that's edgy and angular, the tacate. So the idea was that we bring forth our own projections, our own ideas of what something is based on their name and how we name something. And we do the naming to some degree based on the characteristics. So the malumas is considered to be fluid and sort of soft and rounded, and the tacate is edgy and angular and I don't know. I think if you pushed up against it, it could hurt. So when we look at that, we naturally, and it's going to be different for everybody, but we naturally bring an idea of what it means. We bring an idea, a symbolism to it. And we do this with our own names. We do this with other people's names. There's been some research that shows that when people get together, quite often their names are similar, like Mindy, Nikki. Their names are very similar, and that people are drawn. The Teresa's over here looking at each other. The people are often drawn to people who have very similar sounding names. Or then people are also drawn to people who have names that are considered to be powerful. In folklore, in mythology, the Egyptian sun god Ra was being asked what his true name was by Isis. And Isis finally tricked him, and once she found out his true name, then she was able to put her son on the throne because she had power over him. So there's this idea that when we know somebody's name, there's a level of power that we have over them. You may have read some of the Tolkien series, when Bilbo Baggins didn't want to give the dragon his name because then the dragon would have power over him. So what you're going to find is sometimes people will say to you in the White Stone ceremony, don't share your name with another. Don't share it with another. Metaphysically, Charles Fillmore thought that when we got a new name, the new name was simply our expanding consciousness, and that the Bible spoke of not sharing the new name because we are all unique, individualized expressions of the divine. So if we're unique, individualized expressions, my name, which might be similar to your name at some point, is still going to be uniquely mine. And yours is going to be uniquely yours. And so while we might both have a name, maybe transformation is the name, we're going to embody it in a different manner because we're going to bring our uniqueness. We're going to bring our own unique gifts. Like I can't sing like Megan Golden can sing. I can't do it. That's not my gift. That was never meant to be my gift. And I can admire it in her, and I can be grateful that she's willing to come and sing for us. But I have to find my own gift as a Golden. I have to find my own gift. And that's what we're being called to here, is how do we find our own gifts in such a manner that we can bring them into this spiritual community. We can bring them into the world and work with each other and work with ourselves and explore and express our gifts in such a way that we create the kind of world that we want to be living in. Now, this is also biblically based. The scripture that the White Stone ceremony is based on comes from the book of Revelation, the book of dreams. It's a dream workbook in many ways. And when this particular passage in Revelation 2:17 was written, it was written to a church in Pergamum. It was written to a church that was really being torn apart by conflict. It was written to a church that was really struggling with differences of opinion. People had an opinion, and they wanted their opinion to be the way of that particular spiritual community. And so you can imagine We all have opinions, and if we're all tied to our opinion and fighting for in that power struggle for our opinion, then we're really going to have a difficult time, and there will be a lot of conflict. Now, that's not to say you don't need to have your own opinion. Own opinion is good. It's about being able to have our opinion, but to open our ears beyond that, to open our minds beyond that, to be able to hear another's opinion and to create a space of listening deeply and creating safety in sharing that opinion. The church was torn apart. Imagine we have a country that in many ways is torn apart because we have polarized with our opinions. So in calling forth a new name, we're also calling forth a fresh start and a new consciousness. And I want to share that passage with you now. Woo, it was already there. Let the person who is able to hear listen and to follow what the Spirit proclaims to all the churches. Well, we are the church. Remember, metaphysically, we're everything. So we're being called to hear, to listen deeply to the words of the master teacher, Jesus, to listen deeply to the guidance that's within us, to hear beyond what the old was, to hear beyond an old consciousness, and to be willing to step into something new, something fresh, a new idea, a new name, a new nature, because in the Hebrew scriptures, your name is your nature. And you probably have heard people pray in the name and the nature of the master teacher, Jesus. So really what they're saying is this is the nature. And what do we know that nature was? That nature was alignment with God, or the divine, whatever you call that. So let the person who's able to hear listen to and follow what the Spirit proclaims to all churches. To the one who conquers, I will feed you with hidden manna and give you a white stone. Upon this stone a new name is engraved. No one knows this name except for its recipient. No one knows you like you know you, no matter what they tell you, because there will be people who say, oh, I know you better than you know yourself. Well, they think they do. But you know you, and you know your consciousness. And even if you struggle with who you are at times, with self-love and your own self-worth, underneath all of that is our divine nature. So say it with me, I am divine. Say it with me, I am divine. That's our true nature. That's our true name. I am divine. You are divine. That is the truth, the capital T truth, the essential truth of you, is that you are divine. So really what the writer of Revelation is saying to the churches is, conquer this part of you, this wants to hold on to your own way of being and doesn't want to look at what is best for the community. That's a big statement. It means we have to look at what the values of the community are and where they are going, how they are expanding, because we live in an expanding consciousness. We have to look at our own values and say, am I going to be different? Am I going to choose to take the actions in 2022 that are different than the ones that I took in 2021? We're stepping into a new consciousness, a new day. Am I willing every day to see this day as new? Or am I hanging on to my past? It's a big question. It's a big question because what's familiar is to hang on to our past. What's familiar is for people to say to us, we always have done it this way. Have you ever heard that? But we've always done it this way. People will try, there's a homeostasis theory too, that if you think about a mobile, that hangs over a child's crib, that when you try to change, everything changes. When one piece begins to change, everything changes. And in the human dynamic, as things begin to change, there's always going to be people trying to pull it back. Are you that people? Are you that people who are trying to come back to the past? Are you willing to step into the unknown, to conquer that part of you that is in conflict with whatever it's in conflict? It may be conflict with yourself. It may be conflict with another. Are you willing to look into that, to open up, and to create something different? And that's what the white stone ceremony is all about. We've released with the burning bowl, and now we're opening up to a new day, a new consciousness. So the key phrases here are, I will feed you with hidden manna. You may remember that when Moses led the Israelites out of Egypt, the promise was that they would be taken care of. They would be taken care of, and they would be given manna every day. And that every day there would be manna. But the caveat to that promise was, don't try to hoard it. Don't try to keep it. Take only enough for today, not for beyond that. And you know what happened? We're human beings, so you know what happened. Somebody said, oh, what if tomorrow God doesn't provide? Have you ever had that experience? Yeah, what if tomorrow God doesn't provide? Maybe I better take a little extra. And what did they find? When they took the extra, and the next day when they opened it up, it was all moldy and gross. Because they struggled with standing in the power of their own divinity. They struggled with that knowing of faith that the promise of God stands no matter what. They struggled with their own name and nature. I am divine, I will be fully taken care of, and I have everything that's within me able to create what I want. We are being given the opportunity with inner guidance to live from that special manna. When we sit in meditation, when we sit in prayer, we are guided. We are given that inner manna to know exactly what our next step is. And my next step may be different from your next step, and your neighbors may be different from your next step. And our job is not to look at each other and say, you're doing it wrong. Ours is to ask the question, what's your inner guidance telling you? Have you sat in meditation? Have you sat in prayer? Are you willing to share with me what you were guided to do? And then be grateful for somebody's willingness to trust you so that we can know our oneness with each other. The next one is I'm going to give you a white stone. And that's what we have here. This stone is symbolic of this white stone. The Unity textbook that's most often used, has been used for many, many years, is called Lessons in Truth by Emily Cady. And what she talks about is, are we in bondage? Are we in freedom? And the white stone is also symbolic of freedom. When people got out of jail, when they got out of prison in the ancient times, in the Roman culture, where the Israelites were captives, they were given a white stone, and it symbolized their freedom. So today, as we meditate, as we move into this time of an experience with our own divinity, then I'm going to ask you to look at this as an opportunity to free yourself from any old chains that bind you, any old belief systems that you've been holding on to, any old names that somebody has labeled you with that you want to let go of. Create a fresh start right here, right now, today. And the third one is freedom. So let me look at these again. The fresh start. So inner spiritual guidance, freedom, and a fresh start with a new consciousness. A fresh start with a new consciousness. Are you willing to have a fresh start? And that's really a question for you to reflect on inwardly. Am I? And I'm going to invite you to ask yourself, am I willing? Am I willing to have a fresh start? And answer yourself. You don't have to do it out loud, but answer it within yourself. Am I willing to have a fresh start? Am I willing today to begin anew? Am I willing to stand fully in my power, to know that there is only one presence and one power in this universe, and I am a part of that one presence and power, and I am willing to step forth? Emily Cady says it like this: the white stone is the illumined state of mind in which we accept our true spiritual name of the I Am, or Christ. Are you willing to accept your true spiritual name? I am. I am. So say it to yourself. I am. Or you could say, I am the Christ. You can say, I am divine. I am the nature of God. I'm created in the image and of the likeness of God. I have all of the capacities of God within me. This is the illumined mind. And it's the illumined mind that conquers those conflicts. When we think about ego, now I have a different definition. I have a metaphysical definition for ego, which is any part of ourselves that is not expressing our divine nature. We're not trying to get rid of any part of ourselves. We're trying to open up to the whole of ourselves, the deep truth of ourselves, the true name of who we are, no matter what other name or names have been given to us. We're opening to a new consciousness. So when the author of Revelation said, conquer, another way is to look at that is, I'm opening, I'm expanding my awareness. I'm expanding my ability to live a new life from a new point of view, from a new perspective. Knowing that whatever my perspective is, that I live out of those beliefs. Those beliefs are true for each of us. Our own beliefs are true for each of us, but they're not always reality. They're how we see the world. They're the filters that we've put on as we move through our life. And we are being called to notice them and let go of them. To listen to our inner guidance, to find the freedom within us, and to make a new start. So the question I have for you is, who have you come here to be in 2022? What million dreams do you want to call forth in 2022? It begins today. It begins with inner guidance, knowing that we don't have to live in the past, knowing that we can let go in any moment, knowing beyond a shadow of a doubt that we have every right to make a new start. So I'm going to ask you to take your stone into your hand, your white stone, and put it in your hand. Hold it. Feel it. There's some smooth edges and there's some rough edges. When you write, your pencil will write better on the rough edge. Notice its edges, similar to the Tecate. Notice its corners. Feel its smoothness and its roughness. We all have smooth places and rough places within us. We all have angles and corners within us. And just hold it. And invite yourself, who do I want to be in 2022? What is my new name? How do I stand in my new nature. We've let go. Now let's open to expansion, to consciousness, to our own awareness of who and what we are, to the reality, the essential reality, the absolute truth of who we are. Letting go of the relative and standing in the power of our divinity. Breathing into that, listening and hearing and following what we have heard. Listening and hearing and following what we have heard about ourselves. Breathing into that space. And I'm going to be quiet for a few moments and let you listen deeply. Ready, pick up your pencil and write your word or words on your white stone. And know that you can choose to share it or not. That's a personal preference. Completed the writing, I'm going to invite you to put it between your palms, and some people call them prayer hands, and hold that up next to your heart, and let your thumbs touch your heart chakra in a prayerful pose. This is who I'm called to be in this next year. This is who I'm called to be right now. Am I willing to step into my new name and nature? To experience the freedom of something new? To release the old and fully honor the new? Am I willing to take the invitation of a fresh start? It begins with us, you and I. It begins with us making a new choice, a new way of being. It begins with us calling forth our illumined mind. And when something happens and we don't live in that illumined mind, to call it forth again, just as easily as possible. Who have you come here to be? Who have I come here to be? And give yourself great gratitude in this moment for your willingness to listen, for your willingness to be, for your willingness to stand in your power, and to begin to bring your awareness, your attention, your focus back into this time, into this place, to this now moment, knowing that you are coming back renewed, refreshed, renourished, with a new name and nature, something to celebrate, to hold forth in your dreams as you move forth. As you move forth each day of this new year, celebrating yourself, celebrating each other, and celebrating the very fact that we have the energy of life moving through us today.
Here's to you long shots, you dark horse runners, hairbrush singers, you dashboard drummers. Here's to you wild magnolias, just waiting to bloom. There's a little bit of all that inside of me and you. Thank God even crazy dreams come true. I've stood at the bottom of some walls that I thought I couldn't climb. Felt like Cinderella at the ball, just running out of time. 'Cause everybody feels like you. What you should do, hold on, hold on. Here's to you free souls, you firefly chasers, porch singers, tree climbers, you air guitar players. Here's to fearless dancers, shaking walls in your bedroom. There's a little bit of wonder inside of me and you. Thank God even crazy dreams come true. Never let a bad day, or let a bad day be enough to go and talk you into giving up. Sometimes everybody feels like you, oh, feels like you, just like you.
I like the dashboard drummers and the firefly chasers. And mostly I want to thank you for your presence online, your presence in this room. If you have been moved, touched, or inspired by anything you've heard today, we invite you to share a financial gift with Unity of Wilmington. We have a basket in the back of the room, or you can, if you prefer, to go to our website, unitywill.com, click on the donate button, find us on Venmo, or even find us on Facebook, mail us a check in supporting the community that is supporting you with great gratitude.
And Happy New Year. Make this year the best one ever, standing in your power, living your new name, your new nature, and having great fun while doing it.
Here's to you long shots, you dark horse runners, hairbrush singers, you dashboard drummers.